doing some research online on child abduction. I'm writing on what we can do to protect our families and world from this slavery. According to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, citing U.S. Department of Justice reports, nearly 800,000 children are reported missing each year. That's more than 2,000 a day. The NCMEC says 203,000 children are kidnapped each year by family members. However, about 20% of the children reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children in non-family abductions are not found alive. In 80% of abductions by strangers, the first contact between the child and the abductor occurs within a quarter mile of the child's home. In the year 2001, 840,279 people, adults and children, were reported missing to the FBI's National Crime Information Center, NCIC. The FBI estimates that 85 to 90% of those, roughly 750,000 people or 2,000 per day, reported missing were children. The vast majority of these cases are resolved within hours. Based on the identity of the perpetrator, there are three distinct types of kidnapping: kidnapping by a relative of the victim or family kidnapping, 49%, kidnapping by an acquaintance of the victim or acquaintance kidnapping, 27%, and kidnapping by a stranger to the victim or stranger kidnapping, 24%. Abduction or kidnapping by strangers from outside the family, natural or legal guardians who steal a child for criminal purposes, which may include extortion, to elicit a ransom from the guardians for the child's return. Illegal adoption: a stranger steals a child with the intent to rear the child as their own or to sell to a prospective adoptive parent. Human trafficking: a stranger steals a child with the intent to exploit the child themselves or by trade. In a list of possible abuses including slavery, forced labor, sexual abuse, or even illegal organ trading, murder, abortion, forced infant abduction, and prenatal fetal abduction are the earliest ages of child abduction as defined by a viable child through the age of majority. In addition, embryo theft and even oocyte misappropriation in reproductive medical settings have been legalistically used to steal a child or exploit. With modern science, cloning is next. Many specific stats show that there are human slaves still missing. But where stats are limited by category, plenty of cracks where abducted people are kept alive as slaves around the world, traded in all countries, just like the US big cover-up and blackmail from world crime. If cops go undercover, they don't realize what they got into, never getting out, forced to play part. World crime uses this on every criminal agent, big money, and things we don't fully understand. And our government, CIA, FBI, have lost, been blackmailed. Crime like this has been going on for thousands of years. If we could break it, most crime would go away. We have governments that does not protect its people. 1.5 million people have gone missing in the USA over the decades, and the records are covered up. Abducted children, slaves, and millions more around the world the same. Millions of slaves openly, and more slaves now than ever before, treated far worse than ever in history. How many are still missing? And have grown up slaves. And criminals exploit and create slaves in their gangs for prostitution. Millions more go missing but are found, but some are found dead, murdered in state parks. Many people have holds on other people to run them. Not just crime, and our government takes children away from parents, puts them in foster care. They could help them be better, to keep them, and they put them in a camp or jail where bad criminal workers abuse, rape, and sometimes allow them to be kidnapped. How many people on the news going missing, vanished? So someone is taking them. For what purpose? We don't know everything yet. And our government secretly has prisoners transported to secret jails, reared like cattle, and some of them go missing to crime. Why is our government turning a blind eye to abductions? They need to prevent them. Watch people, identify families, keep them safe. Watch people, Expand a census watch group to protect citizens. Watch spy to prevent kidnapping. Be snoops in where people meet like sports. Watch them and other places in groups of people, and have citizens watch each other for safety. Talk to each other. Give money to parents to keep their kids. Prevent schools kids from being taken. Have security and watch them at parks. Verify where they go online and at schools. More watchers, and arrest criminals, even if they're in our CIA, and stop illegal dealings in our government by secret agencies who allow and enable kidnapping and crime that expands their power, not the people's. Governments who don't keep us safe. Close the CIA and other secret agencies. Have people groups for specific tasks, not unknown tasks, and lie because our CIA have become gang criminals who don't stop gangs, but join them, enable them, and yes, gangs, big ones do kid and APE. Our government allows criminals to organize into gangs. We have to break up gangs, even if they are political, like KKK. If you're in a gang, put them under surveillance in homes and require that they be monitored. Watched everywhere. Cams. Tracked on GPS. Let's watch criminals. Get visuals. Everywhere, and used it to arrest, especially if you're suspected and are seen with a gang, and everyone that transports goods things on roads. Trains, planes, boats should be searched and stopped and have to monitor their comings and goings with camera watched by people, the people on the internet. Let's spy on ourselves and watch and investigate everywhere. Look everywhere, and when you suspect possible illegal smuggling, pull them over, not our good citizens in cars. Only do some cars, but with due process, just to look and photograph people in plain sight. Scan the trunk and let citizens do the same for their government, police, and everyone. Watch for fake government transporters, kidnappers, and convoys. Any convoy should be spotted and always checked. Private or government or known, check them all. People can't trust anyone. Smugglers are clever. Search for bases everywhere. Use technology, radar, and search. Verify everyone and every purpose, even factories and research labs. While I support private research, they still have to give an overview, especially tunnels and mines, unless some plan saying they were doing something. Building storm shelters or underground work can be done, but provide an overview. I'm for private bunkers and tunnels for companies providing services to people, but give an overview. Let us know you are mining, exploring underground, so we can make sure people aren't being against their will taken underground, as long as that can be monitored. Comings and goings accounts overview. No ever land search them for secret places, and help business look and provide security against threats and manage so a smuggler doesn't figure out a way to divert resources on their backdoor dealings, to hide under them, especially in transportation. And we have to watch the unused airports or potently black sites for secret flight monitor things, and old base and sports areas, for and industrial areas for criminal break-offs, using the land for a base or of which to operate, to move around in secret, not let governments cover it up. Get people involved. Make hard choices so we can free them. Not be afraid to mount a raid on people who shouldn't be there because we're afraid of CIA. Oh, it might be them. No, we have not secrecy for our government. The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free open society. It only creates more and less security, and then it gets hijacked and people are enslaved. We are going to have to look for underground old tunnels and survey them, explore them, break in them. Not only that, we have to help other countries do the same and prepare for world crime. Mafia who are going to be more sophisticated than even theses tactics can stop, and are better hidden and more secure in their running, moving, hiding, and securing blackmail. But right now 76% of them aren't. They are more open now than ever, and unprotected, but they do have armies. They're growing in number. Underground worlds, hidden worlds, on Earth, and hidden dealings with the rest of the world. Someone could be a slave in plain sight and we wouldn't even know. To be sold, traded to World Crime Organization who have people everywhere. Some don't even know who they work for, some in government, and our government is run blackmailed, made criminal-minded and makes its citizens that way. Through political hate, every little crime, back of car or truck is used, organized. Even if it is cow-use, every criminal works for the trade. Even if they don't know, it's all used to further slavery. Been that way for thousands of years. Even wars. Kings all under crime. Made slaves. Our leaders slaves. They take away morals and make us debate our morals. We all know right from wrong. And preachers, moral leaders, teachers have to teach right without being arrested for free speech. We have to educate the people. Even if the cops step out of secret, work together, give out information, and come forward and allow our children to write, think, be active on solutions, fiction to solve problems, learn how evil thinks and not be arrested for wanting free information. Actively exposing crime, whistleblowing, and writing, which gets spied on and shut down, and they're told how to think, and arrested for writing fiction. They get suspected. It's a mob tactic. Groups like Anonymous, freedom of information junkies, civil rights activists is what they are, and not hate like certain groups who fight for freedom, but hate their fellow man, act violent, and get used to distract, to hide things. An issue solved long ago. People aren't kind to each other. Everyone wants to group and not be diverse and friendly. Give someone a chance. Love your enemies. Be kind. We have to work together. It's Hollywood and satanic pedophiles, secret buyers of slaves like them, or creating an industry that promotes non-moral and enslavement of its workers and people they put under them to exploit a bad network. Crime, gambling, Vegas, sleaze shows, to do crime, and gather domesticated slaves. We have to shut them down, police them, have man-to-man coverage, make them do their business under good police that examine everything. They must do records kept, scrutiny, and the public internet to be gone through. An ever-secret program that does so be published and made better, uncorrupted, and redacted for security, and agencies of monitors to watch things. Millions of people online, under escort spy software to make sure they can't steal secrets. People watching each other, reporting if someone's a spy, crook, and shut them down. Our records on many things are secret. We do know how many missing people, how people are exploited which aren't being recognized, or numbers not fully known. People are dumbed down, spell-checked, manipulated, given their roles to follow, and don't get to use their brains, and not allowed to speak out, called crazy, so no new ideas come out to solve crime, and they are attacked, kept quiet if they have information. If they tell the government they think they're crazy and give them no place to report major crime, corruption, no voice, drug them to make the stupid. We have to open information groups to counsel, take reports, follow up, and not attack, protect, and not drug, and not penalize for things they write, done or maybe not done under controlled circumstances. People have accidents. It's not always what it seems. Sometimes there is storytelling involved. On them. We can't blame them for words without proof. They're bad evidence to show bad charter. We have to pardon some crooks, allow freedom for them to report crimes without it being used against them in court, because many people go and thinking they can do good, change the system and spy on our police, but they get raped and become like them. We have to pardon. Our focus should be on freeing slaves, dealing with criminals, take their power, not filling jails, get those evil in charge, not used, interview people in jail. Mental health that have been quieted could be one as a former slave made crazy or criminal used. People can be blackmailed, then exploited, then kidnapped or just taken. We don't know how it's done with records sealed. There are stories of children being abducted in parks and satanic evidences on how they use them, which may tell how they were kidnapped in murders. We need to use it to figure out in some cases where to target and how to stop kidnapping, and their programs to use them to attract them and their criminal games. Then we can identify who they are, how they work, and also look at covert ways they mass do everything. We do have a problem of government secret prisons to hid prisoners for exploitation, population control. And we have a police state push to institutionalize everyone on drugs, put in submission, made vulnerable by mental health, and in schools so that they can be exploited by illegal drug pushers, secret drug labs that make chemicals to be used on the next slave. Abducted, they control people's freedom to write about this, keep them quiet. Some few people in the slave trade work with mental health to abuse, then exploit children. Big connection. And we are talking some Muslims get jobs as doctors. Doctors know they're not helping kids, they sickly chose to harm them. Why? It's a part of a system to hold us back that crime had their tentacles in. When I look at the way the mental health system tortures kids, they are evil. It's all covered up, and these kids do go missing, and they all have respect for the law. They don't fight, or fight to get away. They are strong enough to overpower them, but they think and are brainwashed to believe they are domestic violence cases. The young are the strongest, they would win a war with know-how. And when I see CIA and government people a part of kidnapping, abuse to nice complaint kids, cops who want to harm them and arrests, and the kids don't fight like they could, but cops disrespect and go all out in the jails. Mental health, cops involved in crime and drug dealing, shooting people, and yes, some do kidnap kids in government, and these tentacles are controlling our government at the highest levels. If kids resist the devil, our government would launch a war to bring them in, and if they defended, they are terrorists. No one today is given due process. We have been deceived. We need to pray and lay our hands and take a stand. Use our power as citizens to arrest anyone threatening our youth. People that sacrifice children to idols should be dealt with. And the crime world order can use everything and the media to label freedom lovers as terrorist patriots. So every fighting army or person with weapons is on the side of crime. Down to our top secret UFO tech could be used against free patriots. They would rather you commit mass murder, kill the planet to hold control, and they will set people up just for being politically incorrect. And unleash hell, take away free speech. There were algorithms. If you write subversion, research it online, you get hacked. Spell-checked errors, deleted censorship even in homes. Theft of personal documents, and sci-fi calls it Mandela effect, where you remember one way and it hardly makes sense, later changed. It changed by error. You work. Computers are designed to not be friendly for creativity, hard to use, mess up. And our internet, if it hadn't been for advanced miracles, they would have never allowed this freedom. They underestimated us. Children needed even by private companies. We can't have family-made crazy kidnapping their relatives. We have to be tough on that crime. Run someone's number in the family first. If there's kidnapping, have them verify comings and goings with it, or be watched for child theft, so that gangs don't kidnap from them. Being used all along, and government can secretly drug kids through parents to cause trouble to later exploit kids. Messed up neurological poisoning in water, food, or by any drug. We have to provide free healthcare to children. Take care of health, not try to change them, or treat fake crazy symptoms. Cure the pain and hurt with good healthy instead of drugging unhealthy to make them more unhealthy. Because that is what kidnappers do and want us to do. Slavery. When a child is taken from parents, always put in the news on special channels on internet. Make it public, all details of any child taken, even when they get arrested or run away scared. And it's not just children but adults get taken. Let's do the same for them. End all slavery around the world. And when someone leaves their country violating custody or laws, how many children are kidnapped to become special needs children? Some put in foster care. Traumatized children put in mental health on drugs after being kidnapped. After our government recovers the missing, in some cases, how many become special needs done wrong by DHR? It happens. Due process of law. A child is arrested, they go to jail without trial. Wait a week for it. Not even proven they did wrong. And the system has predetermined mental health. Drugs. The judge always gives guilty in the face of innocent. or mental health for all children. He sees even if you win a case, they won't give it to you freedom. They cherry pick and call crazy. On Justice Kangaroo Court, the system sentences not the judge special needs children, millions of them put on drugs. Over the years, even if you're not accused of petty domestic stuff as a child, when it's not your fault, you can be called special needs and be taken from parents and then put on drugs, vaccination, and sent to foster care where kids can get kidnapped. The solution for that is exposure to the secret government programs that work against children, and to change the system and laws. Never allow a child to be put on drugs by government or put in foster care. Government should pay to help that child. Find family and fix their family, not punish the child. Have justice for our children, not trails for unworthy stuff, as long as they don't kill someone or harm someone. Majority give due process, no arrests, give them a chance to write their side over months at home. So never lock up a child or oppress special needs. They need house discipline, house parenting, mentors, and Big Brother programs to help parents do the right thing. From volunteers and paid. Instruct parents on how to live for the child and what house restrictions to recommend for the child instead of arrest. If you arrest, forget the home restrictions. You just abused and punished kidnapped children. Return home not to be put in a system. Give them more security. Mentor them, but don't call them crazy. So don't drug them. For mental health, it's evil. The government should have mentor programs, even for people who self-harm or want to. Talk to them. You never get through with punishment. Drugs. Mentor. And yes, some cases drugs may be need if they want to harm theirself badly. If they're crazy, but we need better drugs, not drugs that make them want to do those things. And for kidnapped who have been on medications, illegal ones, chemicals, we seriously have to look into treating their health with powerful health substances, superfoods, not mind-altering chemicals that these kidnappers use to make them crazy and put in water of a town secretly. Or a doctor gives them drugs, makes them go bad at home. Bad treatment. We can't let doctors keep secrets, threaten parents, and blackmail them. There are so many ways to get sick and catch bad toxic pollution. A doctor doesn't treat that, they just prescribe medication to balance chemicals, but they are doing the opposite, so the system is hard on special needs children and makes it tough to keep them in trouble with impossible rules. Drugs give confused children memory problems. To cover up kidnapping, sometimes missing children are called runaway children or teens. Different category. We are very concerned for the welfare and safety of our boys and girls who have run away. Between 1.6 to 2.8 million youth run away each year in the United States. Children can begin running as young as ages 10-14. The National Runaway Safe Line tells us that more than 70% of teen runaways interviewed described their leaving home as occurring on the spur of the moment. Many kids didn't even pack a bag, make sure they had money for food and shelter, or figure out where they were going to spend the night. While most children who run away return home safe within a week, the life-changing hazards of living on the streets are very high for those who cannot return home because they have no home to go to, or they have become victims of prostitution or drug selling. False assumption number 2. All homeless children have a home to return to. Nearly half of the homeless kids surveyed by the National Runaway Safe Line described situations where they were thrown out of their homes by their families or caregivers. These children literally have no place to go. They are called runaway children. Additionally, a good number of runaways come from abusive homes where it was dangerous for them to live. If homeless boys and girls do not find a reputable shelter, they may panhandle and sleep in parks or abandoned buildings. Survival requires more money than panhandling can provide. Many young people find themselves selling drugs or sex, not by choice, but through necessity. It is estimated that many young people especially girls, begin engaging in survival sex within 48 hours of leaving home. Sex for food and a place to stay can quickly escalate into formalized prostitution. This is why parents need to contact their local police the moment they realize their child has run away. After contacting the police, these children will quickly find themselves in a web of forced labor making money for pimps and pushers. For them, there is no easy way home. According to the National Runaway Safe Line, children run away because 47% of runaway youth report conflict between them and a parent guardian in the home. Over 50% of youth in shelters or on the streets reported that their parents told them to leave or knew they were leaving but did not care. 80% of runaway and homeless girls reported having been sexually or physically abused. 34% of runaway youth, girls and boys, reported sexual abuse before leaving home. 43% of runaway youth, girls and boys, reported physical abuse before leaving home. So many children can be put into special needs. It is easy to think that some get put on drugs for various reasons later, so also there has to be kidnapped, plainly, slave children, recovered, misdiagnosed. Most children, in my opinion, don't need the medications which cause the problems in most all cases, including runaways, who may flee police trying to abuse them and DHR trying to get them medically examined for drugs pushed on them in schools. If they go to hospital for medical care for passing out, they may call them crazy. Domestic troubles with family. It's easy to push teens to run if threatened by someone, or maybe they're athletic running to clear their heads. Camping. Other. So as bad as I have written the system is, imagine all that put on teens. Children. Millions of them. And imagine abducted, abused children by gangs and satanic cults. Kidnapped that get run in the system by mistake for criminals to cover their tracks or the system. This may vary by county to state. Prison buses move some of these so-called delinquents and adults the same to secret sites to process them. All sorts of prison transport is used, so the hurt and pain is ongoing. No freedom, locked away for years, some of them. Or a doctor keeps the locked up in hospital. To drug torture, majorly to certain ones. Are they more secure from corruption? Or are they put at risk? Cruel jails. For youth, yes, some do bad stuff. They don't deserve cruel jails. And confinement torture. Life-threatening to the hurt, abused. Solution: we have to end this, build and open public centers for missing, whole divisions, modern, and mentor children. Be friendly to build good, smart relationships and have tracking down children and adults separate from a manhunt by police or rescue squad who also do police abuse. Whole new system and prevention agents from those new systems to check on people, mentor, do safety talks, and make parents, relatives, be kind of and abuse talk to the children. Give them rights. In some states, parents can say at any time their child is bothering them, and have them locked up under state law, and not be charged for false arrest or crime for being abusive. Parents going crazy. They always say teens are the worst, but their parents came from drug addict parents who sin, create bad laws, systems, and follow them blind, and didn't take care of them. Teens pregnant, throwing their kids or grandkids out, being mean, making children think it's their fault. Bad homes, families in poverty living together, children with no rights. Hateful old people who won't let their children succeed that contribute to the family. Money, work, love. But it's that liberal thinking destroying lives. Racism from evolution and the devil divides people into groups. Lies. So it's not the children's fault. Judges hate these kids, think they are bad. No fair trials. Fabrication to hold them back where they can't defend. Technical liberal judges hate children. And fair free speech hearings, they follow the yellow brick road to make their decisions. Why a cop would put them through it instead of sending them home, resolving it, I don't know, but we have to change this. Be a big friend, be a neighbor, be a mentor. Let things slide, be kind. And mentor those parents to provide free legal support to all parents' money. It's a right. Don't let others harasses them. And then they get put in jail for normal response. And if it can't be resolved, we need government daycare, hotels, paid employees serve kids. This could be a church ministry charity, a hotel where people can go, and the homeless, to instead of mental hospitals or children's hospitals that punish children and abuse, and provide doctors to check on them, examine them for free always. When someone is in legal process, examine them for injury. Without government poking, it should be like any other hotel, and free. No hassle. Then send in a mentor worker, so children don't run away scared, and train police not to harass as a child. Give them rights and inform them of their rights. Adults too, so they don't get taken. But if a child says no, don't run them out of their home or evict them. Give them rights. We have a free country. It would be more advanced, but everyone screws over the future of advancement. The children, the most valuable. Hostile people frame other to make them look bad. Missing children, innocent, all of them, don't deserve this. People abducted in a state park. Even if they get freedom, the odds aren't in their favor, so that they don't become adults doing the same process. Solution: we need state-run militia working with police and better policing methods to respond to missing children. On the lookout at key place, patrolling, ready to fight. Courageous people with lean, strict laws to allow them to fight for freedom and not get charged. Combat high-tech equipment, search parties every day. On the lookout, rewards and pay special privileged citizens who volunteer. They get discounts at stores and less tax. Have them submit reports of some kind or tips. They hold talks, meetings to educate the public. Police work to keep people uncorrupted and safe. Plans to catch and transport. When first taken, to watch and look for taking practitioners and how it's being done. Intelligence, surveillance, and better policing methods. Have military work with the police on this. This should be the main focus. Gather intelligence and find intelligence still on the books. Pay smart people to look at them and investigate. Figure it out and develop plans to police. Search and rescue to prevent takings. Use the data, don't hide. Raids on criminals to eliminate the consistent rat race that binds our men in uniform from pushing it the way they can. Correlate, follow up, and no blackmail policy, where police and military can go and train with leaders. The state militias are to go in with military leaders and train them. They do it of their free will. Forget politics and gather world coalitions of people. Educate people that use technology in foreign places to locate people. Put away elite forces. Have dangerous elite spy and allow stray missions for the children. Use radar and other detectors, locators. Use grid scanners and internet signal triggers that show person's location if they have been taken. Applications that track people and switch on if that person wants it to track them down. If taken, and reports on third-party website where a person tells their story to people and bots, and file necessary reports. Say you're treated unfair by the law or kidnapped but not hurt by the law. Third parties help out. Tips and deep programs, and police workers with deep programs. Private eyes. Aid givers from third parties. A whole list of functions covering every need by third parties as well. Government that does these things as well. Interview the children with no consequences for what they say. Remember, smart children have the answers, but bad population control experts. They shut them up before they get started and erase their writings and creative works. Invest in young people's and smart people's creativity and don't judge. Society has been severely held back. Third-party information, whistleblowers should give children a special education, a group, a system to protect them secretly. Everyone, young people, all people, with good minds can see these problems, write them in advance before they happen, prevent and find solutions. So let children, people have freedom to break the rules and not be put in jail for secret breaking. Information should be free on the internet, and more of it. You can't own God's creation. Imagine fast, quick thinker, writers, creators, solution givers, not held back, with direction and recognized purpose. So let's give that and donate time to your young people. Be patient with them. Hold talks, not stress parties and threats. Let them know they are valued, loved. Prepare them, and take time to let their phases work out. By informing them, playing, respecting, educate them on the world schemes, lay it on them, how they can work to be the best. And if they have a bad day, let it slide. Show them to do better, don't attack them. If a parent or persons is provoking, harassing, it's not the child's fault, but police lose their due process, or their parenting skills as cops. So tell the New World Order to shut up. Let your kids say it too. And no one should ever be allowed to prosecute a child if he or she has not broken a major law. The best defense is a good offense. If a child is being endangered by anything, don't let the system harm them, even if your child tells a bad cop shut up. Their rights should be above anyone. Any cop disagrees and attacks them using deadly force or threat is a murderer, probable working to population control a child's life for the New World Order. Corrupt cops. They think no one can step on their toes when they're wrong, or they can use deadly force. It's very difficult to say what can be done to protect a child from this, because the odds aren't in their favor, and there are no safe places or spaces. So contact the local military, have them talk a child back home, or to a motel, or safe place. Report abuse to the military on the police, and let military police discipline bad cops who do their jobs wrong. And if it's still bad, get the story of the ordeal from the child's perspective, publish it. Protect your child any way you can. Encourage them to know what to do, how to speak up, and when to count their blessings and rest right, and go about things as normal. Case if they try to control your child's normal activities, go to courthouses, file suit, teach children how to do this, write reports, have third parties help on computer spots, let them know if they're in a wrong situation that they are not wrong, educate them, continue with that in some form activity, not perverse guilt trip classes, re-educate them, ladder, encourage them to focus on what's right, and end all these practices for everyone. These practices contribute to a forced rebellious life and runaways. Government's fault. Third parties. We cannot let governments destroy families and take kids' lives away from them. Make it illegal for anyone to do so if anyone offends the last of our children. Put them in jail. So going deeper into runaways living that life, we have to pardon them, let them home. Make it better, contact them. Third-party sites to communicate through and delegate pardons from government scrutiny. Give them privileged live security, you can do so. And mentor them to guide them home, not to lie to them, and not to punish them. Complete control. We have to work on giving slaves their lives back. Funding from government, or new lives at home. Third-party programs to watch over it. Once you turn the slaves free with some freedom, you and they can rescue the rest, put them to work helping out others. Make sure to be in touch with reliable military people locally from your local bases. Listen to them, learn from them, publish their thoughts, serve them, educate them. Good relationship. The problem is sometimes aren't free local corporate military police or depot police. Fake police secure areas and work against military people, while some military police are good if they are local guardsmen. Some factions and security corporations try to run the world for population control, subvert governments locally, and the police corporations all corrupt, so too much oversight from fake military police has to be protested and blocked locally through local peoples and state militias, free men, because many of these are in with crime. Whole communities allow it, and then they vote in elections and are not from that state, wrecking small communities, while military people generally live there and are good citizens. These police are hangovers from old jobs and factions, allow crime on down the line safe passage, and play politics, and other groups do as well. So corporations in charge of security finding dealing with missing, and the entire nation's security military industrial complexes corporations should not be in charge. While they should assist, they don't have a good track record, and generally are turned around the world and sometimes do the wrong thing to allow crime. Criminals beat them every time and run them. We have to get back to people in the know to protect their citizens, not corporations for everything. To stop corporate slavery, we can't let them capitalize on slavery for the crime order and gain profit. We have to look at the things that gain from this. The elite did not support it, and corrupt politicians with histories against fair justice, population control, who try to shut up reasonable truth solutions, who support murder of children who deserve better, not a woman's property, the Jezebel murders who want and have eliminated billions of people through history for population control, forced abortion, murder, and liberals who put people in jail, mental healths, and camps, and keep children in slavery and stack the odds against normality because they are connected to the elite run by them, and Satanism, Masons, Illuminate controlling the government, music, entertainment, knowledge, and stole it from the people and locked it away, and the workings of society and schools, business to waste and enslave the world. For criminals who have been doing this for thousands of years everywhere, and the people in control above them at every level, they have stolen the minds of the world, poisoned it. There are missing people's cases in state parks, national forests, other places that records are kept but are all secret. A cover-up of mass proportion. Some third parties need to be created to review these cases. Some should be made public. The records must be reviewed by qualified people, not corporate blackmail, so that more people can use them to help each other, so that children are safe in this world, or at least intelligent computer programs to filter them. A system of sorts that gives public anonymous data on everything, and maybe stops false children in need from being blackballed by governments in a bad legal system, and police that shut it down, prevent more abductions and cover-ups. Get police to work on this and not keep them in the dark working blind cases undercover.